Thank you for coming to the little farm tour. I'm really excited and happy that you're here. Let's get started. We'll start out beside the gate. Here we have our compost pile and our bat house. In our compost, we use our kitchen scraps and our barnyard scraps. When the compost is ready, we use it, put it in our garden. Let's go ahead and go inside. As you can see, there's a lot to look at, but let's get started by looking at this sign. This sign's here to remind our visitors to be responsible and respectful. Because when you're responsible and respectful, that means you're ready to learn. And there's a lot to learn on the farm. On this side of the farm, we have planted some bamboo. As you can see, it's a barrier between us and the building beside our home. On the opposite side of the bamboo is our garden. Let's go check it out. Outside of our garden, we planted a couple of blueberry bushes. Inside our garden, you'll see that we planted a variety of vegetables, and we also have some black raspberry and rhubarb. We plant tomatoes and peppers, onions and garlic. We have beets, broccoli, strawberries, lettuce, carrots, all sorts of vegetables that we really love eating fresh vegetables from our garden. We also keep our beehive in our garden. We keep the beehive in the garden for our visitors because we like to keep our visitors safe. And sometimes people will get frightened of bees. So having them inside of the garden where there's a gate and a fence kind of gives everybody a little bit a feeling of security. The bees are the hardest workers on the farm. Let's go see what else is happening on the farm. Here on the farm, this is where we have kind of an outside living room. We like to entertain and have family here. We also sometimes just like to sit out here by ourselves and relax. It's a great spot for seeing, having a bird's eye view of the whole farm. We have a lot of plants and windows. It's really nice here. Beside it, we have a fire pit that we use a lot. We go down this way. Let's go down to the barn. And our barn here is separated into two parts. A part for the chickens and a part for the goats. Let's go inside and take a look. This part of the barn is for the goats. We have a platform here because goats don't like to sleep on the ground. We also have their minerals and baking soda here. This supplements their nutrition. I keep a pail of water, and we also keep their hay in here in their hay sack. This part of the barn is for the chickens. Chickens like to roost up high, so we have this for them to roost on. And then we also have the nesting boxes in here. And as you can see, we have 2 eggs in there. You can see a barn is really dirty. The chickens really poop a lot. And it takes a lot of work to keep the barn clean. Above us is where we use for storage for some of the hay that we use for the goats. Let's go in the barnyard. In the barnyard we have 2 goats and 7 chickens. This is Dulce, and this is Leche. Leche means milk in Spanish, and Dulce means sweet. Goats love animal crackers. These are African pygmy goats. They're about 3 years old. So we have about 7 chickens. Some of the chickens are about a year old, and some of the chickens are about 2 years old. Over here, we're converting an old chicken coop into a duckling coop. We still have some things to do. We cut the legs off to bring it down because ducks don't like to be high like chickens do. And we have some landscaping to do and a little pond to put in for them. Speaking of ducklings, let's go see them. Here are our ducklings. We have 3 runner ducks. They're called runner ducks because they run, they don't fly. Isn't she beautiful? Look at her, how black her feet are and her beak. Her beak and her feet will remain black. Here's another one. She has a kind of a grayish beak. And she's going to be kind of a grayish duck. Oops. And here's Miss Meanie. She's the boss. And she's going to be a fawn and white colored duck. Just say hi. Hello. There, she has quite a bit of personality already. I haven't named the ducks, but if you have any suggestions, please post them in the comments. Maybe we'll make a contest out of it. I ordered the ducks online and received them through the United States Post Office. They came in this box. They were hatchlings when they were placed in this box. Just had some straw and a container of food in it. They traveled for about a day before they got here. The post office called me and I went to the post office and picked them up. Right now they're about 3 days old. They've already grown so much in just the last day that we've had them. And they love the water. We've had to replace the water dish, I bet, about every 20 minutes to keep it clean. Now that we're back from seeing the ducks, I wanted to show you the rest of the backyard. And here we have some stepping stones to try to keep from the wear and tear of going back and forth to the barn and to the barnyard. We also have this bamboo teepee that we made from the bamboo that we grow. The kids love it, and it's so much fun. It's like having an adventure in your backyard. We planted some clover seed, some wildflower seed, and some grass seed. We're letting the grass grow. We're not going to cut it. We're going to let it grow as tall as it wants to grow. Let's go up to the garage. I wanted to show you our garage because I wanted you to see how much space we have to dedicate to our animals. You can see that in our garage we have bales of hay and bales of pine shavings. We also have shelves full of different kinds of things that we need to take care of our animals on a day-to-day basis. In these trash cans, we keep their food. This is the chicken food. And this is what we feed the goats. Now the goats would definitely be okay if we just fed them hay, but we do supplement them with this food. We keep the food inside of the cans to keep the mice and the rats away. We keep the food away from the animals and they have nothing to eat. We don't have any problems. Now let's go beside the garage and follow this path. It's a curvy path and it's a lot of fun to walk on. On the corner here you'll see some lily of the valley, which smell wonderful. And we have a lot of flower beds. In this flower bed we have hummingbird feeders, which the bees and the hummingbirds share. Over here we have the Gnome Garden. In the Gnome Garden, the children love to play and move things around, take things to the sandbox and play. And that's what it's for. It's for the children to play with. And they like to move things around and rearrange it. It's a lot of fun to watch them play with it too. Around the Gnome Garden, we have the herb garden. And we have all kinds of herbs coming in. We have chamomile, basil, we have sage, we have dill coming up, we have Russian sage, we have rosemary. And on this side we have chives and cilantro, oregano, mint, nice fresh herbs. And here's our water feature. We've had this for about 15 years. In it we have water lily, corkscrew reed, and cattails. We also have 3 fish, a goldfish and 2 blackfish. They're really shy, so I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're in there fishing around. We keep this going all year long. It freezes to about 2 to 2.5 inches deep. And then the rest of it, the fish just go dormant. But it never freezes. It freezes over, and sometimes when it freezes, there's a mound of frozen water over. It's really neat. The kids really enjoy this too. And over here, we have a sandbox. We put this sandbox when my grandson was 2 years old. He's a senior in high school now. We really get a lot of use out of this. It's always been a lot of fun. And a big mess. And here's more flower beds. I like to sit here, have tea parties with the grandchildren, or sit here with a cup of coffee and a good book. It's a lot of fun. Over here we have our mason bees. It's the first year I've really had mason bees. In addition to our honeybees, I will be posting a video at one point about bees. So keep your eyes open for that. Here, beside the mason bees, we have a praying mantis egg sac. We're waiting for the baby praying mantises to come. It's not quite warm enough yet for them. And here's some more flowers because I love flowers. And I planted white flowers because when it gets dark outside I can still see my flowers. Or when it's early morning I can still see my flowers. And that's it. That's the end of the tour. I'm really glad you came and I really appreciate you coming. Thanks. See you next time.